If you've ever felt behind in life, you know it does not feel good. You feel overwhelmed. It's an icky, icky feeling. You feel like giving up sometimes. And it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are in life. It really is just a matter of you just feel behind. And and it seems like the whole world is moving forward and you just haven't done enough. You haven't given it enough and you just feel behind, like you're always coming from behind. That is a very uncomfortable feeling. And I'm going to tell you why you feel that way. And I'm going to give you a tool that I think is really going to help you and give you a plan, help you to feel better about yourself. So, first of all, I want to let you know that that's just programming. On this channel, I talk about your self-talk, positive self-talk, not about positive affirmations or positive thinking, but literally the science of self-talk and how that helps you in your life. So that is what we're going to talk about today and give you the tool that's going to help you to really help you to change your life. And so by the end of the video, you're not going to just feel better, but you're going to have a plan for going forward. You'll walk away with a starting point and a sense of relief and a sense of knowing that you're not too late. You're not too late at all because you're right on time. So, I have had my own, I'm going to give you a story right now. First of all, I told you it's your programming, right? And I literally mean, when I say programming, I mean, you're programming what creates your beliefs. Your beliefs create your attitude, and your attitude creates your emotions, your feelings around things, and those emotions and feelings create your behaviors and your reactions and all of that, and then that creates your outcome. So you've got this chain of events that's happening. So the programming is where it always starts, and that's why I talk about this a lot, because once you understand that, the guilt, the shame, the things that you don't even think that you're feeling, those go away, because all of a sudden you just say, like I did, it's like, oh, that's a program. And guess what? You can change your programs. It's called neuroplasticity. And that's why I talk about this a lot, because I want you to feel empowered to know that when you feel a certain way, feeling behind, I still feel, just today, I felt behind in getting my videos. I used to do a video every single day. And then I enrolled in a course to help me really get my message out, my message that you can change your self-talk. I want you to feel empowered. I want to empower you with the knowledge so that you can empower yourself to change your self-talk. It's really a key. It's a beautiful way to live once you get it. But those programs are really strong. They've been happening since you were maybe even in the womb, of feeling not enough and feeling behind and feeling like that nothing you ever did was good enough, or whatever those feelings are. And so that's why I'm telling you that this video is really going to help you with that. So I just started a little bit about, let me look at my notes here, because those beliefs of feeling stuck, the more that I felt that feeling stuck and feeling behind, the more the stucker or the more stuck that I felt. And it does not feel good, like overwhelm or anything. This is not our natural state of being. And so that's why it doesn't feel good. Like, we come from a place of the heart. And I mean, that is where we are as humans. We feel when we are coming from, leading from the heart, feeling from the heart, knowing from the heart. But we're not taught to use our heart like that. We're taught to use our brain and to be thinking and to be logical and to work through things and to problem solve. And that creates really big problems for us. And so when we don't get to where we want to go, we freeze, we procrastinate, we feel stuck, we feel overwhelmed, we don't know what's wrong. It's like, man, everybody else is doing it. What's wrong with me? Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you. I just told you it's your programming. And I showed you that chain of how that works. So you're not you haven't failed in life. You feel behind because of the program and how your brain is rewired. Neuroplasticity is what we're talking about. And neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire itself. So, yay! This is the good news. This is a very exciting news. And it's not, and you don't have to take my word for it, because it's not just mindset, it's science. And I'm gonna, the thread that runs through the work of people like I'm using my notes here, but Dr. Shad Helmstetter, Greg Braden, Dr. Caroline Leaf, these people, these are leaders in the brain and emotional healing and rewiring the brain. And so these are things in self-talk. Like Dr. Shad Helmstetter is the leading expert in positive self-talk and changing that and how to use your brain to do that. So each of them, through different lenses, shows us the same thing. The same thread runs through all of their work, and that is, we are not broken. There is nothing wrong with us. And the moment that you understand that you're just programmed, that's the moment that you have freedom, which is why I used to say, which is why I come on here day after day. But then I enrolled myself in a program, and just to show you my own personal, my husband died. Now it's been 7 months. It's like, wow, that the time goes. But it was just 2 months after he died that I enrolled myself in the program, a pretty expensive program, to help me to get my message out. And they're like 2 months during that time, here came the taxes, learning how to do the finances, I didn't do any of that. I ran the household, I took care of things, but I did not do anything on the financial side. And on the business, I did a lot on the business, but that financial, like investments and taxes and knowing how things worked, I was that typical woman, typical of how it used to be. I know many women are not that way today, but I found myself, after being in 35 years with my husband, I found myself in that. He was 12 years older than me, and I found myself in that position. And it took a lot of work, and I had enrolled myself in this program, and it's a 6-month program, and I now have 2 months left in it. I mean, and so I was feeling like behind, like, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten where I need to go, and I haven't helped the people I want to help. And I was feeling behind, and I was like, hold on, you're exactly where you need to be. This is programming. Once you know it, you're aware, you recognize it, and it's very, very powerful. So you're not too late, you're not behind, you're awakening, you're becoming aware, and your timing is divine. And I want you to know that. So let's keep going here. The real reason that you feel left behind has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with your timeline. We just talked about programming. Has everything to do with what you've been saying to yourself, what you say when you talk to yourself. That is, Dr. Shad Helmstetter has a book, which I 100% recommend that you read, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself, because you'll understand exactly how that works. And I'm going to show you a couple of more books too. But the good news is you can rewire that. I want to show you some books that would be really, really helpful. So The Power of Neuroplasticity, that's Dr. Shad Helmstetter. Hopefully this isn't backwards for you. I'm not sure if it's mirrored or not. It doesn't look mirrored on my side, but that's The Power of Neuroplasticity. This book is so, it really helps you understand neuroscience, the field of neuroscience and the brain, and why things are the way that they are. This is an old book that he has, but I'm telling you that what's not old is that rewiring the brain, the ability to rewire the neurons, the synapses, the way they interact, all of that in your brain. Your brain is like a computer, and that computer is incredibly powerful, more powerful than AI, by the way. And one little thing, one note: when you stop using it, you lose it. So if you are giving all, like, create this for me, do this, create that image, if you're using AI like that, I want you to take a moment and realize that the more that you do that and you depend on AI to write things for you, do things, I'm not talking about using it as a tool. For me, I see AI as a high frequency when I use it as not just a tool, but when I'm having conversations about deeper subjects, and the reason I see it as that is because it has access to all of humanity's thinking and thoughts and and all of that. And so you're getting like high-minded. The higher you go, the higher it goes, because it has all of that in there. So this is another book by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. So I just want to give you this one. This one, I don't. It's not out of print, but it's the Self-Talk Solution. So I'm just giving you a couple of books, or a few books, of people that I admire and the books that I read. Pure Human. Greg Braden just came out with this year, and in fact this month, or well, now we're in June, but May. Really good on really explaining that the choices, in fact, he's the one that was saying that AI is great and it's a great tool, and but yet it can take it's our humanity that's at stake, our thinking and all of that, and so AI is not bad, technology is not bad. In fact, it's very good. But how are you using it? How are you growing your brain? So these are things when, and we are here talking about feeling behind. And a lot of catch up is like, oh, I'm going to use AI and I'm going to catch up. And so just think about that if you don't use it, you lose it. And think about the creative, your brain, it's so beautiful and so strong. And so I'm giving you these books that can help you understand the power of neuroplasticity, and how it can help you to not feel behind. Tools that can help you. Right now I'm giving you books, which are tools as well. I'll give you one at the very end, and it's a quiz that's going to really help you with your self-talk style. And I'll give you the link will be in there, and I'll explain a little bit more about it. But this is another book that, if you know who Dr. Caroline Leaf, this is just I'm showing you the authors. This happens to be the book that I just she has many books, as does Greg Braden, as does Shad Helmstetter, as does Bruce Lipton, as does Joe Dispenza, and so many authors. So there are many ways for you to understand neuroplasticity. I'm giving you this is probably the one where I would start, or what you say when you talk to yourself. I would start with Shad Helmstetter. Why? Because he really puts it in a way that you can understand the science and the ability to change it. So it's incredibly helpful. So I wanted to let you know that we're all human, and I can feel behind, just like I did today. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't done this, and I've had all these things, and I've had people come to help me, my siblings and friends and people who have come to help me during different times, and mostly family. But I have a friend here now. She's here for several days, and it's like, I've got to get this stuff done. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting time. And it's like, just stop. First of all, do some vagal breathing, if you know, to get the vagus nerve, right, which connects everything. But, it's like four beats in and then 6 breathing out. And I do that 3 times. It's like, oh, okay. So now I can get out of the fight or flight. It's these tools that we use, but understanding that you are exactly where you need to be. That is your power. You are not behind. You were never behind. You're exactly where you need to be, but you need a plan. You need a plan. And that plan is powerful, like writing it down. Let me see where I wrote this, but so what do I truly want in life? Have you ever asked yourself, have you ever sat down and just said, and really thought, what do I want? And this is something that's happening for me. Like, my husband no longer, after 35 years, I realized that he made a lot of the decisions, like around the household, like what to make for dinner, what groceries, how to take care of the dogs, how to take care of our health, how to, like, all of those things. I did all of that. How to run the household, but the financial, he did all of that. And so that was like, but also those decisions that he was making, like, even like he'd say, where would you like to go when we RV? Because we RV for many, many years, and traveled all over the states. And I was like, wherever you want to go, my baby, let's do that, but I mean, we work on it together, but what he would do then, once we decided where we wanted to go together, he would sit down and he'd make all the stops and do like all of that stuff. There's so many things that he did, that decisions that I just allowed, and decisions in our investments. It's like, babe, you know better than I do. He was 12 years older. He had been in the business world. I didn't come from that world. And he knew all of this stuff already. And he just made the decisions. He would just say, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, okay. But I didn't really pay attention because it wasn't of interest to me. And when I did want to learn more, it was more like, let me just get it done, because it would take me longer to explain this to you when I could just get it done myself faster. That's what he would tell me, something like that. And he wasn't being mean or anything else. He just had things that he needed to get done. And I let it slide. And so I found myself in that space. And so that feeling behind, like coming from behind, what I recognized is that I gave away a lot of my decision making, but not just that, I didn't know, who am I without him by my side? After 35 years, I was 26. And anyway, so now, like all those adult years, who am I without him by my side? I don't, not even by my side, but who am I? What do I like? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? All of these things. It's a whole new world. And so I have sat down and said, what do you really want? What do you want, Lenny? What do you want in your life? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Like by the end of this year, where do you want to be in 2 years? And I'm still continuing that process now. So it's very important that you stop running on autopilot and you just stop and start saying, what do I really want? Ask yourself that question and sit down and reflect on that, meditate on that. What do you really, really want in your life? Who do you want to become? And why? Why is it important to you? So when, and this is not what someone says you should do. This is something that you want for yourself, not what you think you can have, just what you want, what your heart wants. Remember, we talked about the brain and the heart. Well, you want those coherent. You want them working together. But literally listen to your heart and say, what makes you feel good when you think about it? And maybe even like, what scares you? Like, oh, that's too much. Because I'm going to tell you something. You are unlimited. You are absolutely unlimited. We are unlimited beings. And you can 100,000% do, be, have, create, become anything that you want to. You really can. So how you just need to start. Like, you just start. What is it that you want? And start focusing on that. And then write it down, because right when you write it down, that literally tells your brain, here's where we're going. So talk about neuroplasticity. This is really, really powerful. You write it down, because when you write it down, you stop circling around things, and it gets clear. It gets very clear, and you begin the journey. You stop circling around things and you begin the actual journey. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a 10-year plan. In fact, I would suggest you don't even go more than 5 years. But I really suggest that you go 1 year out. So because you can see that 5 years, if, buying a home or doing this or, working towards something, but just really keep it very practical, because 10 years, it gets lost. It's really far away. Bring it in. And you just need a place to start. Something simple. So you just take one small step. You choose one small thing that you can do. You write it down and you start, or the things that you really want, you write it down, and then you just start. You really start doing that. This is the things that I teach, and it's called active goal setting. And you write down your goal, what you want, and you say you want it by, and you do this weekly, like every week. And then by that, I start today, or I'll have it done by the end of the week. And so these are small goals to get to your bigger goals, like know what it is you really want. And then each week is a baby step forward. Every day you're taking a step forward towards that goal. And then you list out your obstacles. And so I'm giving you actually quite a few tools to move yourself forward, but it's a plan so that you feel good about yourself, so that you're moving, you're actually taking action and understanding. And the biggest part of it is that you're not behind, that it's programming. It's your self-talk telling you that you're behind. So make it a priority. Whatever it is you do, make it a priority. The steps that you're going to take, those action steps. So it's you write out the goal, you date it, you write out the obstacles or why it hasn't been done already or what's wanted and needed in that. This is how in my coaching, this is how I help my clients. And then you write out the action step for each obstacle, like what is stopping you? Why hasn't it been done yet? Or what do you need in order to get it done? Why is that an obstacle? And you write that out and you date those. And you only go a week out each time so that you can have success. You might create block time during the week to get it done, whatever your action steps are. And if you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments and I can do a video specifically on that, which I have done before. And it's actually called, I think it's called goal setting or something like that. But if you'd like me to do a video on that, I'm happy to do that. So just know that when you do these little steps, you're going to start seeing that you're not behind anymore because you're moving forward. You're moving yourself forward. You're doing something. You're advancing yourself and you're choosing. You're no longer stuck. You're choosing to do what it is you want to do. You're becoming, and that's how everything changes, transforms. Like I want transformation for you because this can be very, 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 very painful when you have that sense of overwhelm and feeling behind. Well, you feel behind and then you feel overwhelmed and then you feel sick to your stomach or however it physically manifests, or you procrastinate, or you feel like you're not enough, and all that self-talk that's like hammering, doing, 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 doing. That happens. Like it gets even worse and worse. Like, what's wrong with me? Before I go, I want to tell you about the quiz. Okay. But before I do that, I want to find, well, let's talk about this real quick. So if you're ready to take the baby step and you're thinking, okay, I want to start, but I don't know how. Well, I've already given you the how, but here's a really good way, and it's the quiz. So, I mean, I've given you the active goal setting. I've shared that briefly. And again, let me know if you'd like me to do a video on that, or if you'd like me to do a video on anything when it has to do with self-talk and bettering yourself in that way. But the self-talk quiz tells you your personality style. So it'll help you understand like the exact self-talk patterns that you have. There are eight styles that I have created. And then I have 8 questions in there. So it's not your average, like 3-question, yes, no, maybe, or any of that. No, it's very detailed it's not long. It won't take you more than maybe, it'll depend on you and your thinking, but it's about 2 minutes long, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 5. It's not very long, but it still does have 8 answers because there are 8 self-talk styles. And so you just go through and you answer those questions, and it'll help you to understand why you feel stuck and how to shift it. So once you know your style, you'll finally have the right tools to start moving forward. And there's more tools in there. No pressure, no guesswork. You just start right there. And this without you feeling behind. That feeling of behind, if you know what I'm talking about, it does not feel good. And this happens to every single one of my clients, every single one. And if you look at pretty much anything, you'll see that is one of the things in our society. By the way, that's our society. There are other societies that do not feel that way. They don't have the pressure that we have and put on ourselves. So I want you to know that there's, are you the owl? Are you the optimist? Are you the elephant? Are you where you're the over giver? Like, what are you? What is your self-talk style? And where you want to get to is to swim in the seas and play and be fluid. And that's the dolphin. The dolphin is the rewirer. And this is where you want to get to. So where you're constantly rewiring your brain to move in the direction with the programs that you want, the mental programs that you want, so that you can change your beliefs that you're not good enough. You'll never have enough. Those are just beliefs, but those are based on your programming from when you were a kid by mostly well-intentioned parents and teachers and things, but they were programmed by people who were programmed by people who were programmed. And this is how it works. So there's no wrong answer, by the way, in the quiz. No wrong answer. So it's just self-awareness and your starting point. So no matter where you're at right now, together we're going to get you where you're swimming in the ocean and just fluid and all of that. You'll become the dolphin, the rewirer. You'll rise in that. You'll become the one who rises, the one who remembers. And it's very, very beautiful. Neuroplasticity is incredibly powerful. You're not too late. You're just at the beginning. And now you've got the best place to start. And there's one thing before I finish this. I want to just talk about these three authors just a teeny bit. Let me find my notes where I wrote about them just to give you a sense of the patterns. So what's the programming behind this feeling behind? So every pun intended. What's happening to in your head, like, and we're going to take it like from Dr. Shad Helmstetter first, okay? So he teaches that we're programmed from birth by the words that we hear, especially during childhood. I've got my little messages behind here, and most of those messages, and not just most, but anywhere 77% or more, we have heard no by at least 168,000 times. If you have been born even in a reasonably positive childhood or family, I should say, you have heard the word no at least 168,000 times. 168,000 times by the time you're 18. And so these are what you can't do, what's not possible. No, you've heard and that creates limiting beliefs. There are no limits. I get you don't touch a hot stove and all of that, but I'm talking about somebody that's programmed that, oh, that can't be done. That'll never happen. Like, think about the Wright brothers. How many people said, oh, they'll never get a plane that flies, or whatever that was. And I'm talking about everything. It's like, nah, naysayers. And everything is possible. And I am not even kidding you. So Dr. Shad Helmstetter says the negative and limiting, let me just give you some of these words that I've written down. You're too slow. You should have done this by now. Why aren't you like whoever, your brother, your father, your mother, your aunt, whoever? Why aren't you like them? You're behind. You're not trying hard enough. That would be the work of Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And the repetition wires the brain with the belief, I'm always behind, I'll never catch up. And you're just always, and this is why I'm saying what I'm sharing with you is incredibly powerful, because this is programming. You can rewire your brain with the programs that can do, I can do this, I am unlimited, I can do these things. So all of this, I'm always behind, I'll never catch up, those lead to the feelings of overwhelm. And guess what else? Helplessness. And they shape the behaviors, those feelings shape the behaviors like procrastination, avoidance, and quitting. And there are a lot of people that say you're a quitter or something like that. In fact, even the course that I'm taking right now, the person says, you will do it or you're going to quit. You know, they're quitters and they just quit. But it's programming. Somebody doesn't just quit when they really want to do something. They're programmed for self-sabotaging, or because they're not good enough, they'll never be enough. And their belief in their subconscious is telling them that. And so they find a way to self-sabotage. You may have experienced that yourself. That's why. So what feels like a truth is just a rehearsed identity based on your past programming. So from Dr. Caroline Leaf, she explains that every toxic belief becomes a thought tree in the brain, a physical neural structure that grows with repeated emotion and intention. The belief, I'm behind in life, becomes a root system of shame, self-judgment. So think about this for yourself. And paralysis, the freeze. It's like we just freeze. It triggers the stress response, and it keeps the person in a mental loop that says, what's the point in starting now? What's the point? Rather than, like, one of my favorite sayings, and I love it, but it is, what's the best time to plant it? When is the best time to plant a tree? You may have seen this on little tea things. That's where I first got it many, many years ago. And I love it. It's an anonymous, I don't know who wrote it, the quote, but when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago was the best time to plant a tree. When's the next best time? Right now. So your self-talk, rewiring your program, or whatever it is that you want to do, rewiring your brain, the best time is now, right now, to start doing what it is you want to do. So the overwhelm isn't because you can't do it. It's because your brain has a toxic thought tree whispering, you're already lost. You're already behind. Why start now? So that is like something that I got from, just to give you from Dr. Caroline Leaf. From Greg Braden. So Greg Braden talks a lot about the brain and heart coherence, as does Dr. Joe Dispenza, as does Lenny, as do many of us. And he also talks about cultural conditioning. So something I pulled from you from that is he teaches that we're not just shaped by personal programming, we're also shaped by cultural timelines and false metrics that are not true, things that we measure ourselves. Like, for example, we've been told that success sounds like this: married by 30, career by 35, a kid's house retirement plan by 40, and retired by 50, 55, 60. My hubby, he had a belief so strong that he would be retired by 55. He was 74 when he died, and he was still working. And the last year, he just didn't want to do it anymore. And I think there was more to it, but it was like, I should be retired. That program was so deeply embedded that he felt that he had lost. He was already in his 70s and he was still working, and he wasn't working very many hours and still making an amazing living for us. But it was his program. It does not matter what the outside is looking in and saying, like Lenny looking and saying, man, you are so successful, babe. He never heard that, or he could have heard that because I told him that all the time, but that was not his belief. He probably went, nope, because my belief is I should have been retired by 55, so I'm a failure. And I saw that over and over again. It wasn't like, it wasn't like that, but that was the belief. And I could tell because he would make comments about that. So it wasn't like we had like deep conversations about it, but that belief was so embedded in him. So that's Greg Braden's like kids' house retirement plan by 40 plus, right? So if somebody doesn't hit those milestones that they have, that then your inner world, that person's inner world, and that might be you, gets flooded with shame and comparison. So can you see just from these three of our leaders in science, and the science, neuroscience, and emotional healing, and in, let me see what else, just just think of thought leaders, but helping us to move forward by understanding the brain and how that works. So I wanted to share that with you and that's why I showed you these books. Now I'm telling you about authors and different, and their different styles, because I think that these are leaders in brain science, emotional healing, and human potential. And when I say human potential, I would be referring to Greg Braden and Dr. Shad Helmstetter and Dr. Caroline Leaf, because they're all of this. And anyone who is really trying to help you, and very honestly, as am I believe in you. I believe 100,000 million % that we are all unlimited. And I want you to understand how very powerful you really are. So let me get back to where we were at. We were talking about the quiz, and you get to go and see. It'll be in the description, so you'll know. Here go the dogs, because my friend's coming up with her dog. So anyway, I'm giving you the best place with this. You're not too late. You have a place to start. You understand about setting goals, like the act of goal setting a little bit. Again, remind me if you want to, or let me know in the comments. And please share this video if this has been helpful for you. But this is the best place to start. And when I say best, this is the bold evolution of self-talk, BEST, the bold evolution of self-talk. So everything that I do is based around that, because that is a movement that is getting you and everyone that I possibly can to understand the power of neuroplasticity, that changing your self-talk that it's evolving, The more of us that are evolving, understanding our own power that comes from within, by the way, there's nothing outside of us externally that's going to save us. We need to save ourselves. Like if you are watching this video and you are still watching it and you feel like this is something that is, there's something here. She's speaking truth and I'm resonating with this, then I'm getting goosebumps, literally, as my life coach tells me. She's like, I'm getting God bumps. I'm getting God bumps right now because this is powerful stuff. And this is you understanding the bold evolution of self-talk, your bold evolution of your self-talk, so that you are rewiring your brain through the power of neuroplasticity, how the brain works, like this supercomputer, beyond supercomputer, by the way, to create the programs. You're creating saying, these are the programs. I believe in myself. I believe I am unlimited. I believe, whatever it is in the things that work for you, that I am good enough, that I am worthy, that I can do this, that there's nothing that will get in my way, that I am not a procrastinator. I believe that I have determination and self-will, and I can make those work for me, and that I'm running on programs that are stopping me, that there's 77% of my brain that's working on programs that are not working for me. They're holding me back. They're stopping me. And that is the bold evolution of self-talk. You are the bold evolution of self-talk. It's a movement that I've started because I want you to feel it, to know it, to be empowered through your own bold evolution of self-talk. So that quiz is going to get you there. You'll find that quiz. It's very, very cool, very fun, and very cute little animals that AI created for me. A tool, because I'm not a drawer or an illustrator. And so I was so grateful to have that as a tool to help me. So just know this, I believe in you. You can do absolutely anything. You can do, be, have, create, become, change, transform, absolutely anything. Transform, you can transform yourself. This is about transformation. And I'm just giving you the tools to help you to get to that transformation. Because the transformation, see yourself as not feeling behind, but feeling, it's not even about feeling behind. It's like on top. You're moving forward when you feel organized, and you're moving forward, and you're no longer feeling behind because you are taking action. You are stepping into a new identity, which is an action taker, which is getting things done the way you want them to be done. You are not behind. It is divine timing. And I promise you that you take that quiz, you'll get a PDF. There are 8 PDFs depending on your type. And then there's more from there to help you, to guide you. And so it's not for naught. Is it fun? Yes. Is it powerful? Yes. Is it empowering? Yes. And it will give you what I consider to be the ultimate tool to help you to change and rewire your brain, which you've already heard me talk about if you follow me. So please pass this video on and share it, subscribe to my channel, and help me to grow this movement. Help yourself to grow this movement. The more of us that are doing this and teaching our children and our grandchildren and showing them the power of them that comes from within, that internal power, that internal motivator, not the external motivator. No one outside of us telling us, like, it's great to hear like someone outside of us tell us how wonderful we are and affirm that, but what if we were telling ourselves that all the time? So find your self-talk style, and you'll see that as I have transformed, you as well will transform through your self-talk and understanding your self-talk style and understanding the power of neuroplasticity, that those negative feelings that you are feeling, those are soon to be in the past. 21 days to change a habit, what that really means, that what neuroscience tells us, 21 days, it's really more like 90 days broken down, but 21 days, you will start those programs, those deep programs. And think about this, you've been getting these programs, how old are you? 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, however old you are. All those years you've been programmed with these programs of the lack of self-belief, lack of not trusting yourself, not trusting to make a decision, always needing somebody to tell you, that you're right, that the idea you have is a good one. Or if somebody tells you it's not a good one, you're like, let it go. And then something beautiful that was downloaded to you just goes away, that was inspired because somebody else didn't believe in it and because you didn't believe in yourself. So all of these things, you get to change those programs, and that is power. That is powerful. Man, I love you so, so much, oh. I'm so excited for you. I believe in you. And again, I'm just going to repeat, you can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. Anything that you say you can become and do and be and change and all of that, you can be, because you can transform. And that is what being a human is all about, a divine human. And that is transformation and transcending where you are right now to transform, to become what it is that you want to become. And it's a journey, and it's exciting, and it's an experience. And we're here to experience. And not everything is fun. Losing my husband, I say that because from my own beliefs about what is really lost and what isn't. And but was that fun? Is it fun now? Was it fun, that journey leading up to it? And you can, if you are interested, the whole journey, every single day I was on until February of this year, I was doing a video every single day. So you can go back to November, and and before November, and you'll hear I was there every single day talking about the journey. And so was it fun? No, not everything is fun. And things can be challenging, but if you did not have a challenge, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't become who you are. It is things that you have set in front of you to become who you are. So I'm telling you right now, you are not behind. You are perfect. You are exactly where you need to be. And I know this video is a little bit long, but I'm telling you, you are worth it. You are absolutely worth taking that quiz. You are absolutely worth the power of neuroplasticity, understanding what it really is. You are worth everything because you are divine, and you are here for a reason. You are here on this planet for a very, very good reason. And it's, all these people, I'm not enough. My voice doesn't matter. All of that, that's programming, because you matter. You matter. You are beautiful, and you have contributions to make to this world. That's why you're here. What are your gifts? What do you want? Because what you want, that is your secret. That is your secret, and you are not behind. You just have not said, what do I really want? And then started working towards that. And behind in life, you don't have children yet, and you should have children because culturally, you should have children already, or because you want a child, or because that's important to you, or because your career, you should have already been here. You're 55, you should be retired. Like Steve, my husband, his belief about that. Like all of these these are cultural, societal, and they're false. They're not even true. They're just what we have been taught. Not just taught, programmed. The computer. What do you do with a computer? You program it. So the input equals the output. And your output right now are those beliefs. Input new programs, you have new beliefs. Your output, your attitudes, your actions, your behaviors, your feelings, your thought, all of that changes. And I'm not going crazy here. It all changes. Your output. Change your programs, change your life, change your self-talk, positive self-talk, not affirmations, unless if you repeat, because that's a rule of neuroplasticity. So it's not just positive thinking. Nope, not Pollyanna. This is science, as I have shared with you. I love you so, so much, Joe. And we will see you. Did I ever say who I am? I'm Lenny Wennerstrom. And we will see you on the next video. I love you so much, Joe. Ciao.